When we came into power 3.5 years ago, things were pretty grim. At home, we were on the verge of bankruptcy. And then abroad, our prestige had fallen pretty low. Well, now there have been quite a spectacular change. Indeed, this change is so great that we find it rather difficult to remember what things used to be like. It's quite an effort to try and put our minds back.
Thousands of Northern Rock savers have queued for hours at branches to empty their accounts. Many more have withdrawn cash via the internet. Despite reassurances from the bank over the safety of their savings, customers have now taken out well over £1 billion. Many failed to access online accounts because of the massive demand, and branches were forced to extend opening hours. Our business correspondent Rory Catlin-Jones reports.
For 36 hours now, they've been told their money is absolutely safe.
The Bank of England would not have lent us any money if we were in an unstable financial position. It's as simple as that. They would not.
But at branches right across the country, Northern Rock customers have been queuing for hours to take their money out.
It'll almost certainly come to be seen as the day New Labour died. Put simply, the recession and the government's policies have together destroyed the public finances. We will all be paying the price for a generation. The first big question today, what is really happening in the economy? How bad is it? The news was bleak.
And my forecast for GDP growth for the year as a whole will be minus 3.5%, in line with other independent forecasts. But because, Mr. Deputy Speaker, of our underlying strength, the measures we are taking domestically and internationally, I expect to see growth resume towards the end of the year.
He also predicted growth would soon reach 3.5% again. Many economists think he's being far too optimistic once more. But if the economy is shrinking and tax revenues are falling, what next? The answer: to borrow lots and lots and lots of money.
Our own figures for public sector net borrowing will be £175 billion this year, or some 12% of GDP. From 2010, as the economy starts to recover and the measures announced in November and today take effect, borrowing will fall to £173 billion, then 140, 118 and then £97 billion.
That is just a vast amount of money, and as many of us know painfully to our cost, what you borrow today, you have to pay back tomorrow.
But I'll tell you this, that man is going to trip over his promises in the rush if he's not careful. There's his promise, for example, not to cut taxes for many years to come. That's the one Labour promise it's safe to believe. Indeed, the Labour leader was being unduly modest. He wouldn't cut taxes ever. Why? Because he's a socialist and they just don't like the idea. In government they put taxes up, and in opposition they fight our proposals to bring taxes down. And taxes would go up and up if Labour spends as much of your money as they've promised. But, they say, we're reformed characters. Next time it will be different. We've paid our debt to society. If that were true, it would be the first ever debt Labour has ever paid.
What a shame it would be, and what a folly, to add to our load the bitter quarrels with which the extreme socialists are eager to convulse and exploit these critical years. For the sake of the country and of your own happiness, I call upon you to march with me under the banner of freedom towards the beacon lights of national prosperity and honor, which must ever be our guides.